to it.
That's fine.
No, but it is a topic that riles me up, honestly, because
Run it.
yeah, no, because one thing is like, I around our age, we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
We're still trying to.
Perfect example.
See?
Ta madre, güey. Yeah. It's an insider.
Insider, but you guys will see it on the video.
No, they won't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are. Brian wouldn't care right now.
Trying to barge in when we're doing the podcast. That's all.
I think there's something that needs attention, and I think for our generation, we have to be aware of it, and it's kind of a way, I think, for me, raising awareness of. And I'm fucking going on this rant. I'm not even telling you guys what, but the fact that your parents become your responsibility. I think there's a cycle of life. There's one day you're a baby. You need your parents to take care of you. Then you become an adult, and then you're responsible for your own actions, your own decisions. Then the cycle says you become a parent, or if you decide to, you become a parent, and then now you got to repeat the steps. And then when your parents get older, they need your help, to help them carry through when at an older stage, which is a very difficult topic to talk about because you don't ever want to see that, like Luke Combs says, that S fade away from their chest, but at some point that time gets here. But I think it's difficult at our age to see certain situations where parents become, and they do it, the parents do it, where they become the kid's burden in a way. Where
they
it's
start
like,
relying on the kids a lot.
Where it's like, you look at your kid and say, oh, he's going to get me out of poverty or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm working too fucking hard. I'm looking at my kids. Oh yeah, my kids, these 1 and 2 right here, 3, whatever, 4, 5, 6. These guys are gonna one day get me off from working so hard.
Like you have that many for a reason.
Yeah, unless you own a farm, then yeah, and then some of those motherfuckers go off and be like Johnny Cash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's a topic that I've been seeing it recently, where it's difficult when you're trying to live your life, but your parents rely on you. When I think there is a certain time that the cycle of life does dictate that if your parents were nice enough to you and took care of you, and even if not,
even then, sometimes you grow up, you have a mind of your own, and your parents could have been so great, best parents of the world.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, like you, just because you were raised great by 2 great parents, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna turn out that way. You can be a dick and be like, nah,
you figure it out
or whatever. Not to say you're a dick, but it's like, nah, like you leave to a different. I'm not saying you.
No.
Right?
No,
leave to a different state because with your job.
I could add on to that.
And you're living your own life now.
So, like, for example, what you just said, how I left LA to Arizona, it was kind of hard love towards my mother.
Yeah.
Because, she was a stay-at-home mom, and there came a time where, like, okay, she relied on me for certain things. I was home. If things...
Because you were there.
I was there. Food, I got it. Little things like this. Yeah. And then it came to a time where it's like, well, look, I have ideas of my own. I'm becoming my own adult. I want to do my own fucking things. And if you're living under your parents' roof, doesn't matter the age, you're under their roof.
Yeah.
So you can't really fucking take crazy decisions.
You're
right?
never really growing up in their eyes because you're still there.
Yeah, you're still always gonna be their little boy. Their little daughter, whatever it is. And so when I decided to leave, I knew it was gonna be difficult for her. But I said to myself, look, as much as it's better for me mentally to leave, for her, she's got to figure life out because, for most of her life, it was me and my brother, the family, whatever it is, right? That was pretty much what her life revolved around. And I said, that's fine, but she's got to figure out her own dreams.
Yeah.
And it don't matter the age, dude. Like people discover passion. They discover a passion to something at different ages, but I think in our culture, it's like it's my kids, and if the kids don't move left, don't move right, the parents don't move either, and I just think that's wrong. I'm not saying it's a sad life, but it's just like parents have to pursue their own fucking dreams. And I was something I had talked to my mom recently where I told her, it's like, dude, you're your own person. You did your job with us. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Mm-hmm. Go. Fucking live. It's your turn. We're done. You're done with us.
Yeah.
Go live your fucking life. Pursue a dream. Reconnect to something you used to like as a child, like a passion you had. I don't know if it was drawing. Reconnect with that passion, because that's what life is about, dude. Like, you can't, obviously we do 9 to 5s, we have our jobs, and we're doing this podcast thing, and we have other things, but it's like you could never get too old to say you can't connect with something that you like and you're gonna do it, whether it makes you money or not. And for me, it was like that tough love towards my mom now, where people looked at me like an asshole when I left.
Yeah,
because a lot of people were like, damn, you left your mom like that, bro?
You were the last one, too, to leave.
Huh?
You were the last one that she had. Because I had left first before you.
Because you had left, yeah. But you know, people were saying, like, because you traditionally, you leave your house when you have a kid.
Or you're married. Or you get married.
Or you're going to get married. And other than that...
If you don't do that, you're there.
Yeah, other than that, you stay there.
But usually, you know what, también is because our parents left that way or at an early age to either come over here
but
and all that.
Because I've
because they left at an earlier age también, wey,
yeah,
to have a better life or
to a whole different country.
Or unless they got married, then that's how they left as well.
Yeah.
That was literally the only way you can leave back then. But even then, it was at an earlier age than us. Now we're being taken care of, right? They are, you know, raising us and all this. And the way they see it, way, tanto año que nos han tenido. And our generation, you can say that we've stayed at home a little longer than they did. Yeah. Right? Because the way they see it is, like you said, you either get married, you have a kid. That's the only way you leave.
Yeah.
And now...
Other than that, there's no reason for you to leave.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to leave. And I think they just have a hard time with the house being filled with kids. Yeah. Even if you have a kid and sometimes you can't rent out, so you take your room, your girl and your kid in a room, or you fix up the garage, or there's a back house and you go over there. Ahí estás de todos modos.
Yeah.
I just think they have a hard time with... They raised you for 20 plus years, and then for you to take off, it's just... They have a hard time dealing with that.
I agree with that, but I agree with it, but the way I see it is like... I don't know. In my view, I just wanted to change the story.
Yeah.
Because I was tired of seeing the same fucking pattern over and over and over and over everywhere, dude. And I was just like... Something's not working here.
And it's because it's
you
not...
You know what's fucked about them, though?
In our
they
culture...
make you feel fucking guilty about everything, bro.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit.
In our culture, it's because that's not... You're not used to that in our culture.
That. They try to make you feel guilty about every fucking move that you're going to make. And then if you make a step that you think is best for you, they try to fucking pull you back. And no matter what, at the end of the day, you're wrong and you're a dick and you're a betrayer for... doing that.
Well, let me tell you guys.
In the eyes of the family too, not just the mother or the father, not just the parent.
Put it this way: my mom was my best friend for a long time.
Well, you were there.
We had conversations all the time. We rarely had issues. We rarely had problems. And when I decided to move, she stopped. First of all, she didn't say bye when I left. Second, she didn't even come out when I left. She stayed inside. And the other thing was, she didn't talk to me for like 2 months.
She was really hurtful.
Look, I understand, but again...
Like, I know what you're trying to say. I get it, way.
But what I'm trying to get...
Don't.
So then we leave that there, because what I really wanted to talk about is how is it fair that you as someone's son is... You're trying to figure out your own life, but somehow I'm seeing parents holding back... people from growing, they're holding back their kids or their son or their daughter from growing. They're holding them back because they want to still like kind of have control of their life, and then saying like, well, I have to be there because the day of tomorrow, I hope that they're going to be there for me as well. And it's kind of like, no, but you're also not my responsibility, because one thing that I've learned is you detach yourself as a family member and you look at a person as a human. Like, I don't see you as Renee or Teddy. I see you as a fucking human being. I see my parents. I see my dad. I don't see him as my dad. At times, I take him off the dad title and I see him as a fucking human.
Yeah.
And the same shit with my mom. I don't sit there and look at my mom as like, oh, it's my mom. No,
it's kind of like how you would see other people. You pretty much like you see them as people.
Yeah, it's a fucking human being that they need to figure out their fucking life and pursue some shit. But it becomes this thing where as much as you want to like live free and do your shit, it's like that attachment is still there, but it's also a weight that you're carrying. Like, you don't have to carry that fucking weight.
It's because culture-wise, fool, that's how it's been.
Fuck the culture.
That's
bullshit.
what I'm saying. Culture-wise, that's how it's been.
Yeah, but has it worked? I don't look that great.
Because even think about it. Put it this way. Even like, for example, with our parents, right? Some of our parents or our parents' generation, que hacían away with their parents.
Yeah.
If they bought a duplex or a property that had a house in the front, house in the back, grandparents are in the back house. Or ahí en la misma casa, güey.
Yeah.
You know? Keep them around. They're there. So it's something that it's been like in our culture, it's like that. In other different cultures, way, what do the parents do to their kids as soon as you're 18? Figure it out.
Yeah, get the
You're
fuck
going to
out.
college? You're going to dorm. I'll fucking pay for you to dorm. Go away.
And for us, we're like, find something close.
You know, yeah, exactly. And yeah, and our parents are like, why don't you just go to ELAC, go to Rio Hondo, and it's like, that's just DC though, like, and pues vete al Cal State LA de aquí or al de Long Beach, or like don't leave, you know, like too far. Like, why are you gonna go to a different state? Why are you gonna dorm? It's just, in my opinion, it's just a culture thing. Like, that's not what our culture has been a certain way, and what they did with their parents, they kind of, in a sense, not that they want to have that being done with them, but I feel like they feel it's tradition or the pattern that happens, you know. So yeah, leaving the house way and having somebody to be there and talk to and rely on, and okay, lléname este papel because, you know, X, Y, and Z. And it's like, and you turn the paper over and you're like, it's in Spanish too. You know, it's like one side's on English, the other side's in Spanish. Like, you can read and write, like, fill it out yourself.
They can become very dependent on the son or the daughter, right? And
but it's because that's what they've done.
I think
you know?
they take advantage at times about that shit. And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong or anything to really get upset about, because again, like, it's what you're saying, right? It's a cultural thing where they kind of rely so much on us or on the daughter or whatever it is, you know. And I just don't find it anything. I don't find it wrong. I find it that it could be an inconvenience. I don't think that the way you guys are expressing yourselves about it is such a... Because you guys are coming off about it, in my opinion, in a very like, oh, fuck. Like, hell no, this shit ain't my responsibility. They can fucking do this shit on their own.
I am coming off like that.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
I am.
And that's why you're hearing me like 13, 14 minutes into the episode, is I'm taking it all in. But the way I see that you guys are saying it is like that. And I think it could be an inconvenience at times when you do have children. And I'll speak for myself, right? There's many times that my mom has called me and has told me for something so minor. Right now, one of the things that we're debating on, that she's actually arguing with me, is she wants me to go to the post office with her, help her take her passport out. But my mom went to go do all this whole process to get her U.S. citizen. By the way, congratulations to my mother. She became a U.S. citizen.
There you go.
Oh, no, another one.
Hey, güey.
Another one. Just play that.
No, so dude, it's a good real life example to what you're talking about, right? So my mom wants me to go, and she keeps poking at me with that shit. And so now I just tell my mom, I'm like, something so little like that, I tell her, I'm gonna go, Mom, your help is done. And then she goes, no, dude, like, come on, like, come, and blah, 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 blah. And like, sometimes I'll take care of, Aubrey and Abby when you have to go to the soccer games for Aubrey or whatever. She stays with Abby. And I'm like, but I'm like, Mom, but these are little things that you can do on your own. And I'm not about to drive from where I live all the way to the post office in freaking Montebello with you, just because you don't want to go and do the passport by yourself, or maybe insecurity, maybe whatever the case may be.
You have a passport, way?
Not me, my mom.
No,
my mom
I'm asking, you have a passport?
Yeah, I do.
Why don't you see it this way? Saca ventaja, güey, y saca el tuyo también.
No, y te ríes, güey, pero esas son mamadas que dicen. No, esas son chingaderas que dicen. But the thing is, like, so for me, that's a bit of an inconvenience, right? Having children, I've gone through situations like these with my mom that she does try to like want me to take care of her.
And my mom is young, by the way. She's not old like that.
Yeah, she's not in like 70s or anything like that. But so my mom, she's done that, right? And so it is a bit inconvenient sometimes, but I'll do it. Sometimes I'll still say fuck it, and I'll go and I'll do it, and I'll help her with whatever it is. And let's be honest, I'm probably gonna go with her for the passport thing sooner than later. But you know, it's a thing where I just think that it's okay to go and do that, just because I look at it and I say it like this. Look, dude, I say, well, my mom's not gonna last for the rest of her life, right? And so then I look at it and I say, is it inconvenient? Yeah. But is it gonna work towards my schedule? And this is where I try to meet a middle ground with my mom, and I tell my mom, listen, Mom, on Fridays is when I'm empty, where I don't have anything with the girls, or on Wednesday I don't have anything. So if you can choose one of those 2 days, then we can do it. Okay, then I can go and help you. But if not, Mom, I can't.
Like drop everything and come and take me.
That's where I think now that's where the structure to this conversation comes in, towards where with your parents, I don't think it's, come on, dude, you're like fucking X amount of years old, you're young, you don't need me for everything. No, I think that it's more like, okay, well, sure, why not? Let's go here. You know, there's times where my dad tells me, like, he'll text me and he'll tell me, Hijo, how do you convert this into fucking pesos or whatever, right? You know, it's not bothering me. It's you know what I mean? And the thing is, what comes up to my head, dude, is this. My dad has helped me so much in my adult life and in my childhood, obviously, right? Put the plate in the food. What do you say? Put food on my plate, right? And all that stuff that he did, right? And my mom as well. And my mom, I didn't ask her to bring me to the world, but I can't look at it like that, where I'm going to say, well, I didn't ask you to bring me to the world. Fuck, like,
so I didn't ask you guys to have me, but thank you for having me, giving me life.
Where my frustration comes from, that I completely understand.
Yeah.
But where you guys are parents, where you guys start blocking decisions your kids are going to be able and want to take in the future, because your ass wants to be that kind of parent.
Okay,
that's my issue. Because there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of potential, but their parents hold them back. And that's where I'm trying to get to. It's like,
that's a you thing, though. That's not the parents' fault. That's a you thing. That's completely on you. Like, if you're gonna allow,
as an individual,
as an individual, because I'll tell you something. My relationship with my mom, like this, in this sense that we're talking about, wasn't always like that, dude. The moment my mom snapped her fingers, I was there, bro. And it started getting in the way of my relationship at the time. She wouldn't. The mother of my children, I would see that it wouldn't. She would kind of just go along with the flow, but it did get to a point where she was just like, "Puta madre, pues ahí vamos otra vez para allá." Oh my God, here we go again. Well, okay. Well, the moment the mom snaps the finger, you're there. I started understanding, dude, that can't always be.
I can see where that can be a problem.
You don't fucking shut your mom down and your dad down completely like that, right? You have to be there, even though it's they say the customer's always right, but the mom's not always right. But in that sense, but you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're trying to say, for when I'm
have
more
to know how to divide your attention there.
I'm more of I'm gonna help out my parents as much as I can, for as long as they live and for the rest of my life. It's like, now if I'm doing something, I'm busy, and they want me to take care of something, and it's like, you know what, I can't go right now, but like you said, later on this week or another day, I can help you out with that, you know. Or hey, you call me and you need something that can be fixed over the phone, or I gotta tell you, then because the way I see it, it's like, you know, they raised me, they took care of me, todo esto. Right now, you know, I live in the back house with them, so they have an advantage that I'm right there. So it's like, right now, go ask me, and if I'm not doing anything.
So I guess I have an issue with the culture part then.
Yeah,
I have a lot.
I think it's just more of a.
I have a lot of issues with a lot of our culture, bro. A lot of things, because
the Latino culture.
The Mexican culture.
Because I have a lot of issues. What happens when our parents get older? Like I said, you keep them in one of the rooms in the house, or you convert the garage. They stay there. And with other cultures, it's like, Nope, your ass is going to the retirement
Yeah,
center.
because
Convalescent home, here we go.
You go to Sun City.
Ay,
Sun
güey.
City. Where all the
go play bingo.
Híjole.
It's because
marker.
I'm gonna express it. I know it's gonna come fucked up because a lot of shit that I say comes out fucked up, but it is what it is. It has nothing to do with my parents necessarily, but I think of myself as I put myself in their shoes at their age, right?
Yeah.
They're fully mobile, bro. I know you get tired because I don't have the same energy I had as a fucking 20-year-old working 2 jobs, 23 hours a day, 3 times, 4 times a week. I know I can't do that now, right? But if I have to, I'll do it. But I see, like, I know I'm gonna sound stupid, but it is what it is. I see Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
He's my mom's age and my dad's age.
Yeah.
The motherfucker's working. I know he has a lot of money, but he was also broke at some point in his life, right? But I see him as an example, as like he's that age, but he hasn't slowed down. He's still grinding. He's still working. And I know he's a celebrity now. I know, and he's the #1 podcaster and shit like that. But I envision myself like that, where it's like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get as wealthy as he is. Probably not, because he's one of one. Mm-hmm. But like, I see him physically, I see him mentally. He's still striving to change his mindset about things, be better, be a good husband, be a good dad. But he's still chasing his dreams, and he goes to hunt, and he still has things he wants to strive for. But I see in our culture, parents slow down and say, I already did what I had to with my kids. Now it's their turn to cater for me.
Depending on you, relying on you.
If I get to have kids, I don't want them to think of me like that. Like, oh, my dad's getting old. Oh, he's gonna die. I understand, bro. Like, there is a cycle of life. I've experienced death close by, and I know it sucks and it hurts so much or whatever it is. But I don't want my kids to look at me and be like, or I wouldn't want to sit there and like, my kids feel bad for me and shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yo no puedo ir a... Get the fuck up. What the fuck is going on right now? Now,
but sometimes, hold on, let me stop you there. But sometimes, dude, I think the parent they don't have too much fuel in their tank anymore, dude. They're tired.
Think about it.
They're tired. They're tired.
I understand, fool, but you gotta do shit to make yourself feel better. If you sit there and you eat in the morning, you eat chilaquiles, and then in the afternoon you make yourself fucking gorditas, and in the afternoon you're eating fucking pizza, and then you go to fucking work, and then you go to sleep, and you wake up, and it's like, dick, you're not doing anything to make yourself feel better and re-energize and revitalize and go chase some shit. Like, bro, I swear, I look at like people even that I work with. They're like, there's this guy in particular in Arizona that I work with. He's like 50 something years old, right? The guy's in shape or whatever. But then I look at people's lives at that age, and I'm just like, so your whole life is your kid? And you're fucking 55, 56? Yeah. Chase something, bitch. Go do something. Fucking get your ass up and go take an adventure. Figure something else. Change your job. Change your fucking location. Figure some shit out. And I think, in my perspective, I know that goes against our culture, but damn, like, what are you gonna do? Pass that shit down to your kids? So when you turn 55 years old, you're gonna sit there and be like, oh, I already work. I'm close to retirement. Fuck it. Now my kids could take care of me, and then your whole life is just sit there and like wait for your kids to come visit you, and they didn't come visit me today.
No, I feel like Ricardo's coming from a place, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're coming from a place where you want your parents to
succeed in some shit,
to move,
fucking do some shit, do some cool shit.
You don't want them
get on a fucking on a boat. Get on the Titanic 2.0, but don't let that shit sink. You know what I'm saying? Like, go.
But it's because it's different.
When you don't have that parent, though, but like, when you don't have that parent doesn't have that mindset. That
that's what I'm saying.
Right. They don't have that mindset.
Of our parents who...
It's kind of...
Pregúntale si tienen amigos.
Like, no matter what... no matter... And they do, los critican, güey. And, dude, it's kind of like... They break their own relationships.
He got it on the dot. you got it 100% right. I would want that for my parents. I tell my mom that shit all the time.
I know.
Go. Figure some shit out.
And I look at it more like, I understand that, like, we're talking, you and I are conceding on, like, we're understanding that part, right? Where it's kind of like, it's just a cultural thing where to them this is what life is and this is how it is. Because I've also told my mother that same thing, dude. I've told her to get up. I've told her go and walk, but it's for her health, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to wanting to take them to the Titanic 2.0, like this guy's saying, our parents are not about that. I've told my mom, I go, dude, why don't you never got curious to try? I asked my mom this. I said, hey, mom, I was like, if we were talking about London and France and all that shit, right? And I told my mom, I said, did you ever dream of going to some place? She said no. And I said, why? And he goes, because I was always invested in you guys. And so that's just something that, you know, you will not. How do you
that
say
was
it,
a dream,
you
having a family, having a household,
you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? We know that saying, right? It's kind of ugly because it's about a dog and regarding your parents, but you know. But dude, it's the truth, dude. It's hard to convince them about it. All we could do is pitch them the idea, and then the thing is with our parents is they like to learn on their own, right? They like to figure things out. So when they find themselves in a spot, for example, if let's just say, God forbid, you know, my mom's on the borderline of fucking diabetes, let's just say, right? And she's already diagnosed as pre-diabetic. This is where I agree with Ricardo. It's kind of like, get the fuck up and do something about it, you know? Right. And I get that. But then they don't want to do that. For example, right? Like they have gastritis. Stop eating the fucking chile, and they keep eating it, you know. And so they get small, and then when Ricardo comes from Arizona, you know, let's just say, right? Yeah. Then she'll start telling him about all these problems, and then Ricardo looks at her and says, "So what the fuck are you doing to change it?" And then she just goes, "No, yeah, I'm trying. I don't want to eat this much." And then, you know what I mean? So I understand where you're coming from, Ricardo. I think we do have to handle that situation though a little bit more empathetic.
I agree, but I don't want my kids to. If I get to have kids, I don't want them to feel bad for me. But like I don't want them, like, because like, right now,
me either though.
You want to sit there and hit a certain age, and because you didn't take care of your body, you didn't work out, you didn't eat well, you didn't take trips to anywhere or wherever the fuck you wanted to do, bro. Whether it's even going down to San Diego, whatever the fuck, like going to whatever.
The only time they do go on a trip is if you take them.
And when you take them, they want to stay in the shade.
Don't be like that's where my mind is now. Where I was like, I'm trying to break that barrier. Where it's like, I'm not a parent yet, but I also don't want my kids to one day be like, shit.
But a lot of people do think like that.
Mi jefe está jodido. Mi jefe está jodido.
Like I gotta
fucking like make a lot of sacrifices in my life to help him.
Yeah.
I want you guys to understand this. This is a whole different life experience, what I'm talking about. You have to step out of it and see, like, I know he talks about empathy, but that parent of yours is a fucking human as well.
Yeah.
And I would hope that they wake up and fucking figure it out. Because
in a sense, it's
life isn't about becoming a parent and saying, "Oh well, I'm a parent. Like I did my duty." And then, well, what are you doing for yourself? Like, what are you trying to figure out? Because when they get older, you don't know what side they're gonna take on. Either be el hijo que va a estar ahí siempre.
Yeah.
He's always gonna be there. He's gonna sacrifice a lot to be for you. Or you're going to have another kid that maybe is chasing some other fucking crazy dream. Maybe they become real good at sports. And then they have to go across the pond. There was kids that we knew growing up that they had a chance to maybe go pro or something. And they didn't do it because their parents are like, no, he can't be far away from me.
That or they got homesick. And they come back. Because of that, you know.
So
instead of thinking, I'm going to fucking thug it out, grind it out for my parents or for myself and to help out my parents or whatever, right?
Everyone wins.
I have a problem.
One wins, everybody wins.
I've had conversation with women like this before, where when I tell them, oh, you know, like, you know, where do you live? Or, oh, I live with mom and dad or whatever, and then I go and I say, the next question is, so why not, you know, go and find yourself your own apartment, regardless of financials and all that. I understand how hard it is to get your own place here in California or whatever, but the question is that, right, Mike? The next question is, well, how come you don't move in by yourself or, you know, handle your thing on your own? And the answer sometimes is for this Mexican culture is, well, it's because I have to take care of, I have to be here for my mom and my dad. They've done so much for me and yada, yada, yada. And I think that's where I think the parents have done a very magnificent job, which I'm being sarcastic as fuck, where they've already, since birth or whatever, since being a kid, you
planted that seed. I took care of you. I birthed you, and you're gonna do the same.
You can't fly.
Yeah, you can't. And so it sucks to hear that, right? Because then that is when what you're saying, dude, it does become a problem where you can't.
Now, if they're legit telling you that,
you can't live with that.
That's different. Like if they're literally telling you, I raised you. When I get older, you're gonna do the same.
Well, because
I expect you to.
I
then
know.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Because then what happens later on? Look,
because they stick around, or you can't move too far away because whatever there's an emergency, I need you to come. I need you to be 15 minutes away at most.
That's where we're talking on our side. You just hit it on the dot again, where I'm saying. So then, let's say that happens on your partner's side and you're in a relationship. Yeah. So then now your suegros become your burden? Now they're your responsibility because...
No, they're not, but then you do have to...
And you have to empathize every fucking step of the way. That's
Unfortunately, you do, because you knew what you got into before that. She told you since the beginning, I'm here to fucking be here for my mom and my dad, and no matter what. So and I remember at the beginning of my relationship with the mother of my kids, I had said that. I did say, listen, I have 6 amount of people in that time that are important in my life, and I'm going to cater to them, and I'm here for them whenever they need. Of them. No, I'm just
Wait, why do you laugh like that?
Continue.
And he's laughing out of pain.
Because he cut me off. Remember?
Stupid. No,
continue.
And I did say that, dude. And I did say that, and then I started seeing that it did become a burden in a personal experience of mine, right? Obviously, that it's fucked up that now we have to live our life caring about certain people that she does not responsible for. When we do, I have our own child, and it's just not okay. But again, I can't sit there and she can't sit there and blame me or talk shit. She could communicate with me. It
shouldn't be a problem, but it's not fair.
She could communicate with me. Yeah. She could communicate with me about that she doesn't like that anymore or whatever the case may be. But then I'm just going to return back. And if I'm not going to be empathetic and understanding with her, then I'm going to respond in a fucked up way and say, well, you met me like that. I told you since the beginning. And I did use that line a couple times. I did say, well, you met me. You're like that. I told you, Ricardo, my mom, my dad, and X, Y, and Z were important to me. And just fuck off. Too bad.
Yeah.
A valid point, but it's not right. Because then that's where that communication and you're not understanding what your partner wants. That's a whole different topic for another time and another day.
Porque ponte a pensar, güey, que si ella está en la misma situación.
Yeah.
Now, half of the time that you guys... The time that you guys should be together, let's say 4 to 6 hours out of the day. Half of that time, you're with each other's parents because, my mom needed this, or my dad needed that, okay, esto, lo otro. And so it's like,
where's your relationship?
What are we doing? Again, don't get me wrong.
But as parents, that's the issue. Is you're the parent.
Esa cosa, güey. So now we as parents now, our generation think things a little different, because I hear a lot of parents that it's like, well, I can't wait for my kids to get older and go to college or start working or whatever, because they're grown already. And what do they say? So shit, we can go do stuff. Kind of like a couple, married couple, or just parents, right? So I can take a trip. We can go travel. We can go down. Like, we don't have to take them if they can't go. If they go, then that's great. But if not, then it is what it is. Yeah. Our parents wouldn't think like that.
So
you get me? Our parents don't think that way. We think a little different now.
We go back to the question at the beginning, or I don't even think you asked it like that. But so are we responsible for our parents? I say yes.
Yes. I
to
think
a certain age.
Yes.
I think to a certain age, depending on the health, depending on how they feel, or whatever the case may be. And you as an individual have to understand, if it's affecting my relationship, that is your priority. It is not your parents. Your parents are not your priority. When you have children, that is not your priority at all.
And you know what? And there are parents that do understand that. There are some that do understand it.
In our culture, though, it's hard.
But it's one of those where it's like, te dicen, yo ya sabía que el día iba a llegar que se iban a ir.
Guilt trip,
But
dude.
then
They're
it's like,
tripping you with that
I didn't
shit.
think it was gonna be so soon, and you're like at 25 or 30, and you're like, what do you mean? Like, you expecting me to leave at 40?
Tengo
45?
pelos en el culo, my
Yeah,
time, ¿me quieres
ya me están
aquí?
saliendo canas. Like, come on.
Pinche viejo canoso a la vez.
No, so you guys are right, and I think for our our parents, their generation, I think we have to be aware that because they were looking at it that way,
Yeah.
like, and I am aware of it. Like, I don't want to sit here and tell you guys what I'm doing as far as what I'm like. This is my plan, right? I'm just gonna give you guys I left because I knew I could have a better opportunity somewhere else to do shit that I'm actually doing and the other things that I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to like free up my time and not be tied down to like a 9 to 10, so that in the future, and I've never told my parents this shit, because if I tell them or if I tell my mom this shit, I feel like she's gonna relax. And so it's kind of like, for me, I don't want to tell her like, dude, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because I'm working hard to be really good.
Yeah.
So that the day tomorrow, you don't gotta worry about shit. Oh, you need someone to come cook for you? Boom, here you go. No
Yeah.
issue, mom. There's money. Don't worry about the money. I got you.
stop.
I'm working hard. I don't really like to speak about how I think about like that situation, because it's like personal. But I'll say it. I'm grinding hard, trying to figure shit somewhere else and create something for myself, so that the date of tomorrow, when my mom really, really needs me, or my dad really needs me, if he's gonna need me, no issue.
Yeah, no
It's
issue.
not gonna affect me financially at
You don't
my
have
house.
to look at your bank account and be like, fuck, can I
You
play that
kinda,
time?
it's more like
Can
you
I
look
get-
at it like you wait for the big moment to shine.
Yeah, I'm there.
I'm there for the little things, right? And I don't know how about you. You have siblings too. I don't know who helps out more.
But it's not it's not so much to shine, dude. It's more of a
No, I
I'm
didn't
trying
like that.
to-
Yeah,
worry
I
about
didn't
it.
like
I'm
that.
trying to,
Like, boom.
dude. They have.
If I
help.
can't be there, here, what do you need? How much do you need? Bam, financially wise, or
You.
también no, I'm saying like Ricardo,
Oh,
or
okay.
financially también. It's like,
So they could
let me
be-
catch a plane, a flight
Yeah.
out there instead of fucking driving 6 hours.
And they say, well, why wait till that moment gets there? I understand,
That's
but
what I say.
for me,
Yeah.
I had to chase my own. I had to change. I had to change my reality that there is a different life to live.
you
than
have
the
to
one,
live your life.
than the one I was living
what it
here,
is.
and the one that I was gonna live, because I've seen the patterns that I'm like,
Yeah.
if I stay here at this household, the only way I leave from here is with the kid
Yeah.
and with some kind of girl, whoever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And so I said to myself, and this is a real personal conversation that I've had with myself. I said, if I stay here, I'm seeing these patterns that I've seen time and time again throughout my lifetime, being aware of this cousin, that cousin, this situation. I said, if I stay here, brother, I'm about to do the same
Yeah, do
fucking
the same
shit,
thing.
and I don't know if I'm gonna end up in the same situation. I don't know, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I had to go change my fucking scenery and figure something else out.
He broke the traditional chain though, because if I compare myself to him, I did the traditional shit.
Yeah, but eventually-
I left with a kid in my hand and a wife next to me, right? Because that to me was
Okay.
the right way of living.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm not. There's no
Yeah,
ill will
because
in
we
me
did
saying
say-
that for myself, because I'm okay. This was my story. This is what I chose to do as
Yeah.
my story, and it's okay, right? Whether whatever
only two
failures
ways-
came with it or not, it
two
is
ways
what
you
it
got
is.
out, and
Yeah,
you
you
got
never
out in
know
one
what
of
the
those
result
ways.
is.
Right, but I mean, like you said,
Ricardo,
you see the
Ricardo
pattern,
got
though.
out with not being those two options. It was completely different.
Yeah, which is cool though, right? It's cool, but they're I mean, yeah, no, there's no but to it. But yeah.
for me, it's like what I want for my next generation, right? Where I want my kids to be like, if I get to have kids, because I'm getting to an age where
Oh, your
It-
window's
it start-
closing? Your window never closes.
no, but it makes more sense as to why kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Before it was more like, well, I had sex with this person unprotectedly and a kid came out.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't
I get
fucking
you.
come at me with some other fucking story of like,
Yeah.
oh, it was I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. When people sit there and post blessings, shut the fuck up. You had unprotected sex and a kid came out, and you liked that person at the time. Don't sit here and fucking tell me some other bullshit. But whatever. Once a kid is here, you call it whatever you want. But my issue is like now I really am in a mindset in a place, bro, where it makes sense. Like the kid part of life makes sense. It's like I see it like, oh, I get it now. I understand why kids, like, what does it mean to actually have a kid, and why have a kid rather than a kid just came out 9 months later after I met this chick and we had sex, and then boom, a kid came out. Because the reality is, like, we can sit here and cover our eyes and say, oh, I don't know how kids happen. Well, bro. So what I'm trying to get to is my mindset is the same way I took this very difficult decision because it wasn't easy. I don't want my kids to sit there in the future and feel tied down with me that they can't go, and
you don't want them to worry about you,
dude. No,
check in. How you guys doing? How's everything?
I want them to be free and go live their life however the fuck they want, and not have pressures from me as a parent. Because sometimes the pressures we have is based off of things you didn't do as a parent. And because I didn't do this and that, now I want my kid to do this. Nah, bro. You as an individual, you go chase your fucking dreams. You go do what you gotta do, and don't put it on your kids now. Because then that's unfair to them. You're already putting them in an unfair playing field. Let them fucking discover the world however the fuck they want to discover it. But, you know, in our culture, it's not like that. In our culture, it's because this generation lived this, you pass it down now, and this is how it's supposed to be. And if you can't, no, this is tradition, this is how it is, fuck you. No, it's not supposed to be like
you
that.
have a big problem with the culture.
No, because it's all sentimental and nice, dude, but there's a whole different world out there.
I'll tell you, how would you feel, right, in the future, your son fucking, you know, hey,
go
dad,
for it.
I mean, it is what it is.
Well,
it's one of those.
No, your son. I'm saying your son goes, hey, dad, fucking, you know, whatever. He sees you like you have a cold, a common cold or whatever. It comes, fucking brings you NyQuil, but it's the job that you did at the beginning as a father, right? That put in
like,
his mind.
I can order it to get delivered. Like, you don't have to bring it. Now if you're coming over already, that's a different story.
That is my
point. But it's like, but
I don't agree with that. I didn't think you were gonna say that. So there's many times that I could Uber shit to my mom too, dude, and the act of going because she's sick.
Yeah, but that situation is not that bad.
Like whatever.
Their situation. When I'm coming at you guys with this conversation, is because I've seen situations that it's not that bad. Like what you do with my mom and shit is like, it's achievable and normal stuff that he does. You know. Like that's good son.
That's what I'm talking about. The whole time I've been just requesting that. Like, be a good fucking son.
I'm trying to get you out. Don't think about yourself. It's like, I've seen other situations where I'm like, no mames, you're holding this guy and his family back and so many people back because you as a parent couldn't figure out your own life.
Sure, but why are we blaming the parent there, though? You want the mom? You want the traditional mom to shut the fuck up? You want the traditional dad to shut the fuck up?
No, live your life.
And so so your theory is live your life, and that equals he's gonna leave. She or he, the mom or the dad, are gonna leave the son alone or the daughter alone.
No, my.
That's what you're coming about. That's how it's coming off.
What I'm trying to say is, if let's say I'm a parent, you do your job as a parent, whatever the fuck, but your life doesn't freeze. You still have to. Do your parenting, dude, but you still have to chase, like, wanting to do stuff for yourself as well, because life doesn't end just because you're a parent. And then there comes a time where they turn 18, and because you are relying on them so much, you don't let them go live their life and explore, and you hold them back.
Or you make them feel like,
I'm gonna give you an example. When I was gonna go to college, right? I had opportunities to go to some universities that were pretty fucking far, and I had a dorm. I had that in my back of my mind that I couldn't leave.
That's what I was saying with our families. Sometimes, what do they say? Go to one that's nearby.
So I do have regrets. You know? So I do have a little bit of regret in my life because I see some people that left. Whole different friends, live in a whole different state, have a whole different type of lifestyle, have a whole different financial fucking way of living now. They look like they're doing well. I don't know their full story, but because they took that step to leave,
that's a big step,
and didn't have that burden, dude. They live somewhere where I would have liked to live, but my ass stayed here and followed the fucking steps of. You go to school, you work, and then you work, and then you work, and you continue working, and then you have a kid, and it's like, well, because I was like, well, I can't leave I can't leave here. Like, this is where my family's at.
Yeah.
I didn't take the chance, and you're 18, so your brain is like mush still. And you go off of feeling and emotion, so I stayed close by. Otherwise, dude, I could have potentially had a whole different life now.
Yeah, no, you would have had a whole
Instead
different
of
life.
like, it's been a fucking grind.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a fucking grind, but I didn't take that decision because of that. It's like, oh, my parents,
it's because
it
comes with the culture way. Así es. I'm telling you, it's a culture thing. The way the upbringing, the way everybody it's raised. It's what our parents saw beforehand.
Yeah, and
their parents did beforehand. Now the only difference is from Mexico over here. Now you're continuing that here in the States.
Yeah.
And then you want your kids to be around just like they were around with their parents. También. And it's like, it's one of those where it still happens. A lot of the culture, people follow it. So when you try to do something that's different from that, it's looked upon like, what? Like, why you want to go to college to a different city, state that's far?
Or even like, I wanted to join the military as well. And I remember when I told my mom about it, she's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be gone. And she's like, no, ¿cómo? Yeah. She's like, why? You don't have to. You work here. And it's just like, I was like, oh, yeah, well, there's no reason for me to leave. Like,
yeah,
but dude, imagine if I was
doing something different, pues.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, no, just go to school nearby, get a part-time job nearby so you can stay here. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, para darte una ayudita, and then you can get your degree, blah blah blah, and then again, like we said, the only two ways,
and then you're gonna pass that down to your kids.
The only two ways you leave the house is with the kid or married. That's literally the only two ways that you leave the house.
So my issue with that, dude, is that you don't give them the opportunity to explore that there's so much more. Yeah. Let's just say to this country alone, there's so much more out there that sometimes we don't get to see because of those traditional and cultural values that were passed down, that this is how it's supposed to be, and you never get to see something different. And you go somewhere else, like one time I went to Colorado, and then I went to Utah, and I see how people live there, and I'm like,
that's different, fool.
Oh damn, there's a different way of living in this country. But I couldn't do it because I had to stay here, and
even if some parents can be understanding,
but
of
you're
that,
bad if you leave. No mames.
I get what you're trying to do and what you want, and they tell you, but why? It's like they get it. They'll be hurt if you leave. And
you get lost in this idea as a person that, I'd have to be there for them because just in case. Because for the longest time when I was still at my mom's house, I was thinking like, I'm not really helping with bills and crazy bills. Like, I pay this little thing. But in the back of my head, I'm
just being there.
Well, I'm here just in case she needs me and things go left. But it's kind of like, Mom, but you can work.
Yeah.
You can hustle. You can get it. Like, you're still young.
Al grano, ¿no?
Pues sí.
Al grano, is it manipulation? Yes or no?
It can be.
Manipulation or no?
No, it can be.
It can be. Like I said, it can be on the way.
That's young manipulation.
That it's
so we have to
the way it's expressed, right?
They love doing that shit.
Because there are some parents that can be like, no, you know what? Like, do what you gotta do. Some dads are a little bit. Dads can be a little bit more understanding than moms. Moms are always like, oh my God, I can't believe you're going to leave. Dads are, no, pues se la tiene que averiguar, ni modo. Just the way we did it. And they think about the time they came over and how they did it. So there's some dads that can be like, no, well, he's got to figure it out. That's what he wants to do. And if it doesn't work out for him, let him find out that it didn't work out
no
for
nos
him.
manipulen,
But at the end of the day,
favor,
aquí estamos.
Ámenos, quiéranos, pero no nos manipulen, por favor. Feliz Día de los Padres y de las Madres. Y todo.
No, no.
El día del niño.
El día del niño. Es para nosotros, güey.
For me, it's just that's just my only argument, that I just don't think it's fair to pass that down to our kids, food, because they need to go and explore. There's more.
I think we see it differently though than our parents. We're a little bit more open to what they want to do. Obviously, and an example, like I wouldn't, if my son was to be like, nah, well, I want to go study like different, right, university, or he just wants to move away. Of course, the question of why. But I just want to understand, your mentality.
There's also a lot of variables, right? Of course, you could sit there and be like, your parents get sick early.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. That, I think that's
they
human.
get sick early, pues también
common.
no
If
puedes.
it's something
common
major,
shit.
yeah, I
It's
get
common
it. But if it's
sense,
something
yeah,
so
that-
simple as lléname este papel, o
Voy
que
al
tengo que
post
hacer
office.
esto,
Voy
o
al
hey,
post
esto lo otro, necesito like right
So-
now.
so what
I'm
you're-
there. That's fair.
But that,
cool.
but so what you're just saying.
But like this was saying, don't make me drive 45 minutes
Yeah, to the
fill
post
out a
office.
paper when I got
Yeah.
to flip the backside and it's in Spanish.
Yeah, and so that is my what you're saying is my point where it's like, well, you can't, you gotta let them fucking figure it out.
But I do believe, in checking in with them, visiting them, see how they're doing. A phone call means one thing, but going in person is a whole different story. Because believe it
so
or
much
not,
more.
when they don't see you for a minute, for a while,
Yeah.
they do appreciate that, and it is what it is. Pero pues, si vas a ir y te van a alegar, ¿sabes qué?
Pero
¿Qué
te
va
digo-
uno? Mejor me hubiera quedado en la casa.
That's crazy.
Not to
That's
say that happens,
another
but-
fucking 30-minute conversation there, fool. Because
But
that is
it's-
true, dude. Like, puta madre vas, güey, and they start fucking.
But you know when that happens,
They
though,
start fucking.
And just to be clear, it's
It
like
happens when,
it's
Ricardo,
not
when
like
you go
that.
too much.
no,
Just to be clear, it's not like that
No.
with my parents.
And
My parents and myself, like, we're cool. Like, I don't mind, doing what I have to do for them and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like you said, they're parents, who, and if they need something, then I'm gonna be there. Now depends on what they need.
But my argument is when you get there,
yeah.
you're gonna be like that. Like you can't fucking do certain things on your own.
Oh no, yeah, no. Estaba esperando que vinieras para que, and it's
What
like
you
you were
gonna-
supposed to send this a week ago.
Like you're gonna do that shit. Like
No,
I just
yeah.
that's where I'm at. Where it's like, bro,
If you can do it, do it. And then when I'm there, it's just
But you as an individual,
We're
no
just-
mames, hey,
that's what I'm saying,
Get
like,
your shit
do
together.
it.
Like let's say I'm that age,
Yeah.
and I'm still healthy, and yeah, you're gonna be tired and you're worn out, but hey, fucking do this shit on your own, bro.
Yeah,
like, come
yeah.
on, dude. Like, and
see what you
it's
mean.
not. I'm not talking about my parents directly. I'm just saying in general, as a human being, when I get to that age,
if you can do it,
food, do the
it,
shit.
get it done.
Like, come on, man, just sit there and fucking rely on.
Yeah.
Que te caiga lo del cielo, güey, no mames. O sea, even now, if you wait here for something to fall from the sky, good luck.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, chase your own fucking dreams. Keep yourself fucking healthy. Figure out your life now that you're fucking young and you got the energy so that when you get there, you give the space and time for your kids to do things and explore shit that maybe you didn't do because we come with these traditions of having to be there all the time, and it's not a bad thing.
Make your kids be jealous of the fact that you're going to Cancun for like the third time this year, and they haven't.
And jump.
Why didn't you guys invite me?
And jump on a cruise and find a pineapple sticker on the fucking. If you guys don't know what that is, anyways, look, Google it. All right, that was another episode of Al Grano Podcast. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Thanks for the support. Broken Plates, still #1 episode we got right now. And it was one of our early episodes, so keep sharing. Give us feedback, even if it's bad. The other day we had some fucking people lose brain cells when they listen to us. I put a tweet up. So every week, come in here and lose some fucking brain cells, goddammit. Later.
Peace.